Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Chapman. I'm the president here at Central Carolina Community College, and it is my pleasure, along with our Board of Trustees and Chairman Philpott, it's my pleasure, our pleasure to welcome you to our campus, and in particular to our E.U.G. Moore Manufacturing and Biotech Solutions Center of our Lee main campus. So you'll hear me say that a lot. It's not that I'm not proud or I'm not very excited about the fact that we have this wonderful facility that we are going to be able to transform and provide workforce for years to come for all of our incumbent employers and certainly for our newfound friends. We are fortunate in this community to have leaders who came together and said, we know North Carolina's #1 in business. We know why, and we know what else we need to do to make sure we stay in that position. And they work together to ensure the infrastructure and all of the necessary things to meet the workforce, the employer's needs. But in addition to that, our folks also recognize how important the talent pipeline is. And I will tell you, Assistant Secretary, that we have the most talented people in North Carolina. We have those folks here in the central region of the state, but across the state, phenomenally talented people. And what we know is that it's our job to make sure they have the skills to meet the current and future needs, and that all of our local talent gets to take advantage of these opportunities. And I will tell you before I turn it over to Chairman Smith, who is the chair of our Lee County Commissioners, and we wouldn't be in this facility if it were not for Lee County and its generosity. Again, the leaders of Lee County coming together to ensure that we have this opportunity. But when I talk about talent and meeting the talent need, and Governor Cooper's looking back there, if you look across the front row here, you will see some additional honored guests that are here today. These are my colleagues from a couple of our universities, from NC State and from A&T, and from 7 of our sister institutions. A couple of our college presidents are busy doing a few other things and we're not able to be here today. But this is the example of how we do collaborate, how we know how to collaborate, how important it is to collaborate. And you will see that as we have transitioned to attracting some larger employers and some greater opportunities, we're already set up to meet that need. So thank you for being here today. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Chairman Smith.
Well, first off, I'm a history teacher, so it is the 240th anniversary of Patriot Day. On this day, British troops marched out of Boston on their way to Concord to confiscate arms, and they had a rather bad day. With that being said, I want to wish to thank you for visiting with us, Mr. Venkataraman, and Governor Cooper, Secretary Sanders, and Ms. Wynn. Thank you very much. We appreciate having you. And yes, I didn't realize we were going to have a panoply of college presidents and such, but go Maryland. This venture started with a Zoom meeting many months ago, back in the days of Zoom only. And Dr. Chapman and I sat down for a Zoom meeting, and she gave a presentation. She presented a vision for this former Magnetti Marielli property in which we could absorb it into the community college and provide a venue for creating jobs and training their future workforce. Our finance director at the time, and I want to say this, Lisa Minter is our county manager, but at the time she was our finance director, and her staff worked diligently to come up with over, I want to say $7.3 million to finalize the deal here. So Lee County has a lot of skin in this game. So I just want to share that with you. But that being said, we took it to the county commissioners. We were looking at the future of Lee County and the expansion of marketing and businesses and companies and manufacturing and the opportunity that this provided Lee County. And I gotta say, I've heard from my peers across the state. I just had a board meeting this past weekend in New Bern, and my peers across the state of North Carolina are just fascinated with just the facility that we've acquired here for the use of training our future workforce. We look forward to a very productive future here in Lee County with VinFast and all the other manufacturers that we entertain here in our community college system. And now I wish to introduce Ms. Nguyen from VinFast, CEO.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Chapman for inviting us to this event. Central Carolina is a very important partner of VinFast, and they would help train our future workforce. And to VinFast, workforce, we must say, is everything. And the skills workforce is very, very important. And we are honored today to be joined by a lot of leaders, Governor Cooper, Secretary Sanders, and especially Assistant Secretary. So welcome to my personal home and welcome to the future home of VinFast Manufacturing. VinFast manufacturing facility, it's just 15 minutes away from this place. And that's where we are building a fully electric vehicles manufacturing facility. And we are building 150,000 electric vehicles per year. And we will be employing more than 7,000 employees. And I am very happy to showcase two of our beautifully designed and manufactured cars today, the VF8 that you can see at the entrance. And this will be one of the models that we are going to manufacture and build right here in our future manufacturing facility. And those vehicles and a lot more models in the future will be built by the students who are going to be trained by Central Carolina, by CCCC. So it's very important that they get trained and they will be building those vehicles. So thank you very much, and I look forward to introducing the vehicles to you later. So now I would like to invite to the stage Secretary Sanders. Thank you so much for having us today.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is exciting to be here today, not only to celebrate with VinFast, but to celebrate with all of you more good news from North Carolina. Today, we're not only highlighting the over 7,000 jobs that will be created for VinFast, and let me say family-sustaining jobs for North Carolinians, but also to lift up our greatest asset and what's possible and what will be an offering to our talent. I think you all would agree, and I know that VinFast agrees, the number one asset and the number one thing that they are looking for, which we just heard her mention it, and fortunately North Carolina has to offer, is our people. Would you agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. I was expecting a clap. VinFast is investing $4 billion in North Carolina's economy to support one of our governor's #1 goals, which is advancing clean energy initiatives. the clean energy sector. The clean energy initiatives not only protect our communities and businesses, but there again, protect our future people and the future generations that we have. And I believe that North Carolina is well positioned to continue to do this. We all recognize we are facing a labor supply shortage and challenge. We talked to the Assistant Secretary this morning and had discussions about that. But fortunately and proudly, I have to say that North Carolina is doubling down on many fronts to make sure that we continue to retain the asset that we have and grow that asset. We all know that it requires investment, hard work, and collaboration. And collaboration is something that we do very well in our economic development space. Starting with the collaboration that my partner, Chris Chung, who's CEO of EDP&C, who's here, and all of the economic developers across the state. We work together as one North Carolina. And in saying that, we are going to have to advocate together, we're going to have to stand together, and we're going to have to require that investments continue to be made in education, in our workforce, in our health care for healthy workers, in our communities for the infrastructure that we need to support that economic development, and basically all across the state, we are going to have to invest in our future. And I think you'd also agree with that. You guys are catching on really well. We all want to clap off. So that's great. Today aligns with our state's strategic economic development plan, which is first in talent. And it's first in talent because of the things that I mentioned. It's our number one asset. We also realized coming out of the pandemic that we were going to have to do some things differently. We were going to have to collaborate more, and we were going to have to underscore the needs, the disparities, the great things, the good and bad things that we recognized during the pandemic so that we could continue to be competitive. And so you'll find in that plan, which you can see on our website, tactics and strategies that are underpinned by diversity, equity, inclusion to ensure that we have the talent and we are able to meet the business needs. And so today is a great day to be here at Moore Training Facility, a facility that will be instrumental in VinFast success, a facility that will be instrumental in helping people fill these jobs and helping to provide for the many families that we have who are in need of employment and who want to contribute to their livelihoods. So today is a great day. The governor and I are doing everything we can to ensure success of VinFast and the local community. We're committed to ensuring that North Carolinians have access to education and training that they need to secure good paying jobs. Our governor not only talks about it, he is about it. He lives it. It shows up in his demands. It shows up in his budget. It shows up in the way that he leads our state. So we are appreciative of your leadership, Governor Cooper, and your vision for ensuring that we have a state economy that works for all people, regardless of your zip code, regardless of who you are, what you look like, or who you love. And for leading us to a better, cleaner, and healthier North Carolina, one that's more prosperous and one that has an inclusive future that will result in more days like today. So I'd like to thank you and welcome you, Governor Cooper, to the podium. And I think all of you would agree that he is a great governor.
Well, thank you, Secretary Sanders. I am so proud of my cabinet. Luring Secretary Sanders in was a great get. She ran a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility, brought her out of the private sector in biotechnology and pharmaceuticals, and now as Commerce Secretary has presided over 2 record-breaking years for job growth in North Carolina. So, had a lot of help all across the way in our state. And I'm grateful for the folks who are here and all across North Carolina. We are the #1 state in the country for business, Mr. Secretary. But there is really one group of people that deserves the credit. That is our workforce. We have the best people in the country, the most dedicated, the hardest working, best trained people in the country right here. And companies from the other side of the globe recognize that. And that is why they are here investing in North Carolina. Now, you might think I'm here because of all these things we're announcing today. I'm really here because I get to ride with VinFast CEO Van Ang Nguyen in a VF8 in a few minutes. It's really this VinFast team of leaders is strong. There's a lot of women leaders that are strong across this company. They know what they are doing. They're going to build a great company here and create thousands of great paying jobs. And Van Ang is a North Carolinian and living amongst us with her daughter and integrated into our state and our communities. And we're excited about having this forward-looking company here. And Dr. Chapman, this is 5 months ago I was here, and I'm back again. Central Carolina Community College, because things are happening here. And Chair Smith and Mayor Salmon and all of I see so many friends out here, our board of trustees for this great community college. You guys are at the epicenter and intersection of two great economic sectors in biotechnology and clean energy, right here in the central part of our state, right here in Lee County. So that's an exciting proposition. And I am grateful to be here with Chris Tone, with the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, Caroline Sullivan, who's been leading our business committee for education and working on our workforce side. I see Congressman Etheridge, who's also here. And I'm going to introduce our federal partners in just a minute. You've got great legislators representing this area. We're excited about what we're doing. But North Carolina has become the center of the country's clean energy economy. These electric vehicles are coming at us so fast. And you are getting some assistance from the government, but the private sector is taking us there. And if you talk to any automobile CEO, they are falling all over themselves to get their cars, their EVs on the market first. And good old American private enterprise competition is moving this sector at its fast. And people who want to hold this back and say, no, we're not going to be doing that, they are wrong. Because it is coming. And we might as well be ready for it. We might as well assemble our charging infrastructure like we know that we can do, and we're applying for federal money, and we're grateful to the Biden administration for helping provide that money for us. But we also want to be on the leading edge of the economy. Why can't it be North Carolina that has the supply chain? You know, we tried for decades to get an automobile manufacturer. Sometimes the good Lord knows when to open the door. Because right as the EV market emerges, that is when North Carolina gets its first automobile manufacturing facility. And we can build that supply chain here, folks. And I don't care what you think about the climate or carbon reduction. That's all important in my book, because I think we have a responsibility to future generations. But even if you push all of that aside, it's about the green. It's about the dollars and the jobs that are part of this clean energy economy, why it is so important. Now, one of the things we've got to do is to make sure we invest in this workforce that is so great. And that means investing in education. We're talking about that right now and the General Assembly. It means investing in child care, which is the triple play. Because one, it gives the children a quality early childhood education, which we know is so important. Two, it allows that parent to work to bring income into the family. And three, it gives that employer a great employee who might otherwise not be able to be in the workforce at a time when we need to be strengthening our workforce. So we need to make those investments in education right now, and community colleges have to play a big role in that. And by the way, this Board of Trustees that has been appointed by the legislature and local Board of Education and the local Board of County Commissioners and the governors, it's a really good team. I don't think we need to mess that up, folks. I'm so glad to be here today to celebrate this facility, all the good things that are going to be happening here, the people who are going to learn things to help them get a good paying job, making more money than they thought that they would be able to make, supporting their family, helping our area grow and prosper. Once again, our community colleges come to the rescue, and we're grateful for that. Our federal partners have been critical partners here in this. Number one, the incentives in the Inflation Reduction Act, how that is making the clean energy economy even more important for us to be able to take advantage of those funds that are coming. And I've told my cabinet, we're going to apply for every single federal dollar that we possibly can get coming into this state. But we are grateful to the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Global Markets, who has come to be with us today and is here to help us. Arun Venkatraman is here, and Arun, if you could come up and say a few words to these folks, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Governor Cooper, for the kind introduction. I'm from the Department of Commerce, and at the Department of Commerce, we're all about growing American jobs, increasing the competitiveness of U.S. industry, and making sure that we put America on solid footing through our long-term economic and national security. And what I see today is all about partnerships and alignment. First, we've got the partnership with the federal government, state government, and local government, all working together coherently, seamlessly, all in service of the same mission, to bring jobs to America, to improve families' lives here in North Carolina. Second, I think about the partnership between government and non-governmental entities. We have the private sector, we've got the universities, we've got other organizations that are all working together, again, in service of the same mission, improving people's economic lives, creating the right circumstances for businesses to grow and create jobs here in North Carolina. Another area of partnership that has come from what I see here today, that some of you may not think about right away, but I do because it's part of my job, is the partnership here between the United States and Vietnam. This investment reflects just another step forward in the growth of this incredibly important partnership that's only going to become more important as we go into this century where Asia continues to be more important as a destination for U.S. goods and services, which are the top products in the world that everyone around the world wants. And we know that the United States is a great destination for Asian investment, as Governor Cooper pointed out, because of our talented workforce, because of all the things that we have to offer here. We're very proud of the investment we've gotten from Vietnam. We're very proud that this deepens our partnership with such a strategic partner. All of that is so critical, but I think nothing is more critical than what Governor Cooper underscored, which is this. This investment makes clear the alignment between our green policies and our jobs policies. There's no inconsistency here. Quite the opposite. Everything we are doing in service of combating climate change, supporting clean technology, also produces American jobs. That is exactly what the president has said from day one. That is exactly what we've accomplished here. Very much thanks to Governor Cooper's leadership and consistent with what President Biden has said from the very beginning. I could not be more honored to be here with all of you, to be here with our friends from VinFast, to be here with my friends from across North Carolina, who represent the type of partnership that we need to see in all 50 states and the RUS territories to help America really grow and maintain its long-term competitive edge. Thank you all very much.
So good afternoon, and I get to follow that. But I actually get to share some really exciting information with everybody here. So I'm Margaret Robertson, I'm the Vice President for Workforce Development here at Central Carolina Community College. And all of this conversation is so much about what we talk about all the time. We're going to talk a little bit about the facility you're in today. That this is the EUG Moore Advanced Manufacturing and Biotech Solutions Center. So not just a training center, but a solution center. How do we have a regional conversation when we're talking about VinFast? 7,000 jobs is a whole lot of people in North Carolina to tap into great opportunities. And so it's partnering with our community colleges who are in the region. How do we work together to make this happen? Partnering with our four-year institutions, and we think about that entire career trajectory for an individual in North Carolina who wants to start out in their first grade job at VinFast and move up there and have their entire career based in all the things they can accomplish with a company like VinFast. And so I think that's part of what's really exciting for us here at the college and the kinds of opportunities we have and what the Moore Center allows us to do as that regional response to the workforce commitment that the state's making, that the companies are expecting from us. And so I really think that having this opportunity that Lee County has made a commitment into, that the college has invested into, and we really are excited to share where we're going with it with you today. So I think the test for me today is to walk you through this video without being able to see it. So Crystal's going to start it for me, but really the point of it is this facility is about three primary things: attracting, training, and retraining individuals who are in North Carolina who want great jobs in advanced manufacturing and life sciences. And so we want to think about how do we pull people in and get them excited about working in manufacturing. This is their opportunity for their careers. How do we get them trained for those opportunities? And how do we take folks who are already in our communities and haven't quite figured out where they want to land, that this is a place to retrain and move themselves forward and take all those opportunities on. So that's what we want to show you where this facility is going. But before we start real quick, I'm just going to give you a little timeline. So a year and a half ago or so, Lee County took over this building, and the prior occupant had taken what they wanted, sold what they could, and left behind kind of like a party, right? You leave everything else on the floor. Lee County has been amazing. They have done a tremendous job kind of getting it to a base, cleaning it up so that we can move forward. We've already made the investments. We'll have our logistics, our truck driving program here. That's here already. We are in construction phase for our biotechnology building, so that's moving forward. And we're in architectural conversations with the phase one of this facility. So we're really excited about moving forward. And how do we then accelerate getting into this building as quickly as we can so that we can meet those workforce needs that VinFast and others really require of us as a region. So I'm going to have Crystal start this. And mostly it's just to give you the experience. So I'm off track, recognize I'm looking at it from behind.
Or just come around if you want to. So, all right, just come around and talk loud.
She knows me. All right, so what you're seeing is an architectural rendering of what this facility will be. So this is kind of coming outside of where we're at today, what this larger building is. But again, remember, it's about as much attracting people into manufacturing, getting them excited about it. We want them to see this facility the same way they see walking into VinFast as their opportunity for where they're going to work and what that experience is going to be. So this is where you're at now. The doors that you just came in, getting people pulled in and then walking through that. So this is the rear of the building, kind of coming on the other side. A little perspective, 220,000 square feet. It is the largest advanced manufacturing training facility, arguably in the, well, absolutely in the Southeast, arguably in the country. So totally dedicated to advanced manufacturing and biotechnology.
come in, this is the student primary entrance coming into the building, welcoming them in. This is the back of the building. Again, this was manufacturing a year and a half ago. This is a collaboration plaza, so again, solutions about the community. How do we create space to pull the community here? Give them opportunity to engage, have experiences within the site. So walking back into where you're standing today, this is where we're talking about bringing people in and getting them excited. Where you're at right now is where there'll be lots of opportunities, whether you're a middle school tour or a mid-career changer, to come in, put your hands on things, get excited about what manufacturing is. See video of what the manufacturing floors look like. See robots, see different kinds of things you can engage with, all within this space. Ask those questions, have some makerspace, do those sorts of things, and then walk out onto the training floor. Walk out into how I got excited about it, to how do I learn how to do it, and make myself into these different opportunities. So what you're walking into is where the labs will be. There are classrooms. They're to the rear, and that's very intentional so that you can go and you can learn, you can come back out, put your hands on things, interact with machinery, go back, sit down and have that learning experience again. It also lets us be able to address multiple parties at once. We want this to be as flexible as possible. When an employer needs to use it and they want to use some equipment and we've got class in the classroom, the labs are still there and we can have multiple things going on. It's an opportunity to work with our other college partners. How do we create opportunities for them to engage with us within this space? So you're getting a little bit of a look down as to how this will lay out. It may change a little as we have architectural conversations, but largely what you're looking at is how do we ramp up, how do we create flow within this building so students can experience. Manufacturing is not a silo. You don't do just a thing and only that thing, so it's giving people that flow experience of how the parts of manufacturing fit together so that they can see how they're coordinating. This is walking through the student entry. If you're coming here, whether you're one of our students, whether you're here for a summer program, whether you're an employee coming in for some incumbent worker training, you're going to be here for a little bit. We expect you to be here all day, many days, learning what you need to learn. And so creating space for students to gather, to work in teams. We've been having conversations with our partners at NC State and with A&T on how do we create space for them to be here. So when we think about a solution, it really is about how are we pulling somebody all the way through to all of their potential that they can have within this space. So all of those collaborations when we have a VinFast in the building, and students can engage with a VinFast in lots of very practical and exciting ways. When we have our A&T and NC State partners here, so we have other kinds of student experiences. We have our community college students here, incumbent workers. We won't find a place that allows all of that kind of engagement to occur that really builds up that workforce. That's what this facility will be as we move it forward and make that response. And I think that is the tour through the video. So you have a really good picture. So we're excited. We are obviously very excited about what the potential in this facility will be. And it's going to run in the background. I'm not going to talk to it again. We do want to take an opportunity to give you a little bit of a tour. We're going to walk out onto the main manufacturing floor, what will be that learning environment, give you a sense of size and scope. It's kind of hard sometimes to get your head wrapped around 220,000 square feet until you walk out and see the massiveness of the main floor and really get that opportunity to see what's going on, to see the space that VinFast will be in as they come into the community, to see the space that we're looking at for things like soft landing and incubation, all of the classroom environment. We're going to take you out there and talk a little bit about the things that are happening here within the facility. VinFast will have their vehicles here, which is really the exciting part. So we'll look at pictures and talk about the facility, and then you can all be excited and gather around the VinFast vehicles and have an opportunity to see what's going on with those. And I think, Dr. Chapman, anything else?
No, I think what we would like to do is have the folks from the table here, if you wouldn't mind coming first, and following Margaret, and you folks that way, and then my esteemed colleagues, if you will follow them closely behind them, and then all of us